Explainer, who allegedly conspired with Trump to overturn the 2020 election. 1/2, Chapman University law professor John Eastman, next to U.S. President Donald Trump's personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani, gestures, as he speaks while Trump supporters gather ahead of his speech to contest the certification by the U.S. Congress of the results of the 2020 U.S. presidential election in. Read more. Washington, August 1st. Reuters. Donald Trump allegedly conspired with 6 other allies in his failed bid to overturn the results of the 2020 U.S. presidential election, according to an indictment of the former president made public on Tuesday. The 6 alleged co-conspirators are not named in the indictment and have not been charged by U.S. Special Counsel Jack Smith, who has been investigating Trump for his efforts to undo his 2020 election loss. But the detailed descriptions of the actions of the 6 people closely track with publicly available knowledge of some Trump associates, who have all previously denied wrongdoing. Several media reports have identified co-conspirators based on the descriptions in the indictment. Possible co-conspirator no. 1. Rudy Giuliani. The former New York City mayor and Trump's former personal attorney has faced legal issues since working on Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Giuliani argued in federal court for Trump in an unsuccessful legal challenge to Pennsylvania ballots. He also played a prominent public role in pushing theories of widespread fraud in the 2020 election. He spoke at an event outside the White House on January 6, 2021, alleging widespread election fraud ahead of the siege on the U.S. Capitol by Trump supporters. The indictment describes someone with similar characteristics, an attorney who was willing to spread knowingly false claims and pursue strategies that the defendant's 2020 re-election campaign attorneys would not. Giuliani's law license has been suspended in New York, and a Washington, D.C. Attorney Ethics Committee last month recommended he be disbarred there. Giuliani recently met voluntarily with prosecutors in Smith's office to answer their questions. Any allegations that Mayor Giuliani knowingly uttered false statements is emphatically denied, his attorney Robert Costello told Reuters. Every statement that Mayor Giuliani made was truthful and expressing his beliefs. He believed there was proof of election fraud, and I have seen the affidavits that back that up. Possible co-conspirator no. 2. John Eastman. John Eastman represented Trump in a long-shot lawsuit to overturn voting results in 4 states. The former Chapman University law professor has been under scrutiny by both Smith's office and Georgia prosecutors for penning a series of legal memos which claimed that former Vice President Mike Pence could reject electors from certain states to deny Democrat Joe Biden a majority of Electoral College vote. His phone was seized by federal agents investigating his conduct in 2022. The indictment describes someone with similar characteristics, an attorney who devised and attempted to implement a strategy to leverage the vice president's ceremonial role overseeing the certification proceeding to obstruct the certification of the presidential election. An attorney for Eastman recently told NBC News his legal team was sending a letter to federal and state prosecutors in a bid to convince them not to bring charges against their client. Eastman is separately facing possible disbarment in California after the state bar accused him of misleading courts and making false public statements about voter fraud. He has denied any misconduct. John Eastman's attorney Charles Burnham said that the indictment relies on a misleading presentation of the record to contrive criminal charges against presidential candidate Trump and to cast ominous aspersions on his close advisors. Possible co-conspirator no. 3. Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell played a leading role in promoting Trump's false fraud claims. She was part of a legal team that filed unsuccessful lawsuits seeking to overturn election results, and was sanctioned by a Michigan judge in one of those cases. Powell has since been sued for defamation by the voting companies Dominion Voting Systems and Smart